Good afternoon. How is everybody doing? For those of you who may not know me, my name is Renata Joy, and for the next 30 days, I have committed to giving you tools, tips, and insight for those of you who's new to real estate investing. Now, my mission, in case you haven't heard it, is to shrink the intergenerational wealth gap through real estate investing, and I have been using this platform to sound the alarm. Now, if you're just joining our conversation, we are on day 20, and I invite you to go back and listen to those conversations. And if you've gotten any value or if you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section. Now, if you're here with me, you know I want to know who's here, what's your name, where you're from, and what value have you gotten so far with our conversations. Today's conversation is a very popular one. It's a buying strategy that largely due to shows like that show on HGTV, they're super popular. Flip, fix, and flips. So today I want to talk a little bit about that. I know a lot of new investors, they make a rookie mistake. They see those shows and then they think they can just go out tomorrow and start fixing properties. Now, yes, it's laborious, and I'm not trying to tell you you can't do that, but I would be remiss to tell you that those shows, they're scripted, right? And not only are they scripted, they have a vast amount of resources that are available to them. So again, I just want to manage your expectations. Hey, Rosalind in New York. Now, I want to go over just a couple of things, a checklist that I created. I want to start it today, and I'll probably have to finish it tomorrow. Let's see how far we go. So remember, with the fix and flip, it's a buying strategy. So with this strategy, you're not buying a job. Your whole objective is to make a profit, right? So let's go through the checklist. The first thing is know your budget, right? Know what you're working with. You know, you have, and a term that you should be familiar with is ARV. You have to understand what is that. That stands for after repair value. You have to understand what repairs will you be making. Think about your end buyer. What are some of the things that you can do to the property that's going to add value and make the property seem attractive? Two rooms that are very familiar with most and seasoned investors that they actually love to add value is the kitchen and the bathroom. Those two rooms will definitely bring value. Now, if there's a way for you to enlarge a room or add a bedroom or add a bathroom, that's another great thing. But before you add anything, remember, you want to go to the city to make sure that you can get the plans approved. But if you're working with a contractor, they'll take care of that. Another popular space that you can do to add value is open up. Maybe you need to take down some walls. Most buyers like an open floor plan. So keep that in mind. Think about the curb appeal. If your end buyer is maybe a family, they may want a yard. So just those are some things that you should think about when you're looking at your property. The next thing, besides understanding your budget, is understand that there's closing costs. Now, this does vary depending on the state as well as the lender, but typically closing costs is anywhere between 3 to 5%. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to create your budget. The next thing is research and determine where is your down payment going to come from. Maybe you need to research and look into some programs, but just understand that there will be a down payment. The next funds that I want you to think about is just in case funds. That's what I call it, just in case funds. What do I mean by that? Well, I remember when I was managing a site that was undergoing some fix and flips. And when we went to go do our regular inspection, we noticed that the copper, the plumbing, the cabinets, the roll of carpets, it was all stolen. So of course we did put in a claim with the insurance, but we also had to hire a security guard to actually secure the property, because if we didn't, then that was going to be days longer of us not getting any work done. And every day that you're carrying expenses for this property is a day that you're decreasing your profit. So you want to try and mitigate that. But again, you have to have that just in case funds set aside, because you never know. Now, the second item on my checklist is, you guys should already know by now what I'm going to say. Do your due diligence. Yes, you need to figure out which area is in demand. And one way you can do that is go down to your city, figure out what's the next 3, 5, 10, 15, even 20-year plan for the area. Are they going to be bringing in a new infrastructure, opening up the highways, maybe bringing a new water system? That's just an example. When I purchased my property in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, I went down to the city and I discovered that CVS was going to create their headquarters there. So I knew that that was going to be a viable area, whether it was going to be executives or some of their employees. I knew that the area was going to need more housing. So make sure you do your due diligence. Look at key indicators. Do you see a lot of infrastructure or construction sites that's going on? Hey, Shika, is there any like construction? Do you notice that they're improving the school zones? Another way for you to figure out what's a hot market, and I just shared this with a client last week, and I want to share it with you. So I was speaking to a lender, and I said to her, what areas are you currently funding? Because she can fund in 50 states. I said, what area are you currently funding the most? Where are your investors right now, buying their properties? And the tip that she said right now, guys, is Alabama. So if you wanted to know what area, what state to look in, go look in Alabama. Now, again, don't go by what I'm telling you. Do your due diligence. And that's another way. Speak to your lender. Find out from them where are most of the deals that they're funding, where are those buyers buying? That's helping you do a lot of due diligence that people pay for that research. So use all of your resources. The third item on the checklist is never go alone. Don't do this project by yourself, especially if you're a new investor. You should take a contractor, and not just any contractor, one that you've properly vetted out. You've checked their resources, their referrals, you've checked their sites, you made sure that they have insurance because you want to make sure that they can add you on their binder as an additional insured. That's another conversation that you can get from either myself, send me a DM, or you can speak with your insurance carrier. But it's important to make sure that they have insurance. Let them walk through and share with you items that they can add value to the property, and make sure that they itemize what they can do. I'll tell you a reason why. There was a contractor that I hired, and I said, hey, can you paint this hallway? He said, sure. So I agreed to give him half because I never give all of the money up front. You lose your leverage at that point. So I gave him half. And, when the job is done, then I was able to give him the second half. So when I came to the property, the walls, they were painted beautiful, but the ceiling and the floorboard, he didn't touch it. His response was, you didn't ask me to. And technically, we didn't have that clear. I mean, it was common sense for me, but yeah. So make sure you have things spelled out, black and white, not verbal, where there's exactly what both of you are on the same page. The other thing is maybe you can partner out with a seasoned investor. Maybe they can teach you. You can be a mentor. Maybe you can just put some funds so that they can show you the ropes. I just don't want you to watch those shows and feel like you can run out there tomorrow and do your first fix and flip if you don't have enough information, right? If you're getting armed like what you're doing now, then maybe you can do that. Just make sure you're connected to someone that you can use as a sounding board to help you wherever you may get stuck. The next item is, it's a numbers game. Yes, be prepared to look at a lot of properties, to put in a lot of offers. It can be very laborious. Now, there's a lot of programs out there that will help you figure out if it's a deal or no deal. I personally have a legacy analyzer, and my analyzer has two parts. The first part will help you organize your comps, right? The second part will allow you to do future projections of a property, simulations. Those are all important. But again, there's many softwares that's out there. The last item that I want to go over today is the finances. Now, again, if you're using cash, just make sure that you allocating enough to do all that you need to do for this fix and flip. But if you need to get this finance, I want you to understand this is not going to be treated like your traditional or your conventional loan, meaning the interest rates is going to be much higher. Why? Because this is just a short-term process. This loan isn't meant to be long-term. It's meant to acquire the property, do the renovations, and then put the property up for sale so that you can disperse and pay everything off, including yourself. So it's not meant to be long-term. So keep in mind, if you see the interest rates for this buying strategy high, it's because it's not meant to be long-term. So I know I've said a lot, and if you guys need any clarification or if you've gotten any value, please feel free to leave that in the comment section. Now, if you're watching this outside of my business Facebook page, I want to invite you to come and join me. And join me at renardajoylive.com. That's renardajoylive.com. Now, understand, I don't want you to join me for the likes. I want you to join me so that I can help you become an informed investor, what I call a legacy setter. Now, just for those of you who are showing up today, I have a personal gift for you. I want you to go to startingmylegacy.com. That's startingmylegacy.com. And I have a checklist what you can do, your daily to-do list for a landlord. Now, this gift, I will keep it up until tomorrow, 8 a.m., because I want to honor those that show up, because you're the action takers. You're the ones that's going to help me sound the alarm to change the trajectory of your generation and many other generations. So again, that website is startingmylegacy.com so that you can download the checklist that I've created for you as a landlord of things that you should do to work on your business and not in your business. So it is my pleasure. I will see you guys tomorrow. If you're just joining us, we're just wrapping up day 20. I want to invite you to go back and listen to those conversations. And if you've gotten any value or if you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I can't believe we are on day 20. Again, I will see you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m. EST. Have a good night.